Hello again. You're joining us on India Tonight. I was talking about the problems brewing in Bangladesh, which has really slipped into this kind of turmoil where the Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, has had to resign. She's had to leave the country as well. Her aircraft landed at an Indian Air Force base near Delhi, where India's National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, has met her. Earlier, the Foreign Minister, S. Shankar, briefed the Prime Minister on the worsening situation in Bangladesh. The army has taken over affairs in the country and is now set to form an interim government there. The Indian Railways having suspended train operations to Bangladesh. Air India, Indigo, these airlines have cancelled flights both to and from Bangladesh. Let's find out where the situation stands. And for that, my colleague Sumit Chaturvedi is joining us from Delhi. Sumit, if you can bring us up to speed with the current situation as far as Bangladesh is concerned and about Sheikh Hasina.
Like all the crises in the world, the aviation world is the first to bear the brunt. Here also, in the crisis of Bangladesh, Air India has stopped all the flights to and from Dhaka. Indigo has done the same. Well, it's quite natural that airlines would not like to fly there. Air India has categorically mentioned that the safety of its flights is paramount, and that's why they're cancelling flights to and from Bangladesh. Also, they will refund passengers while rescheduling is not an option currently. No one knows for how long the problem of the crisis lasts. That is why it is not an option currently. Having said that, yes, the problem is there, and aviation world is clearly not in favor of starting the flights to and from Dhaka. At this moment, it is one of the biggest economic losses that his country, India, is going to face. Not just aviation world, other kind of losses will be suffered by India as well. But at this moment, Air India has come out and given a statement saying that there will be no flights to and from Dhaka immediately. Indigo is also doing the same.
Right. So, Sumit, we understand the flights have been cancelled, but at this point in time, big unrest in Bangladesh. Let's connect with former Ambassador KP Fabian is joining us to walk us through the implications. Mr. Fabian, it's always a pleasure having you on ET Now. Now, Sheikh Hasina has been considered a trusted ally of India. This has happened despite these minor hiccups around illegal immigration. But what are the consequences now of her ouster from the border states and India at large? What do you think the implications are here?
Well, let's first try to understand what has happened. I have here a list of 18 names, which, these people are likely to take over as interim government. And the first name I have is Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed, former governor, Bangladesh Bank. Okay. Then I've got a former Foreign Secretary, Tawheed Hassan, and lots of other people. So it appears that a competent government of experts, a technocratic government is likely to take over, which is a good development. Now, as regards relations with India, well, to an extent, India had put all its eggs in one single basket. That is, focused too much on Sheikh Hasina. But I don't think that is going to seriously impact on India-Bangladesh relations, because both countries have good, solid reasons to retain their relationship in a state of good repair for many, many reasons. I don't want to go into that. So I don't think we need to be worried about adverse impact on relations with India. But you please keep in mind what I said earlier, that we appear to have put all our eggs into one basket, but that doesn't matter anymore.
You say it doesn't matter, Mr. Fabian. I was just trying to understand the situation, the political situation in Bangladesh. The last election, it had been largely boycotted by the opposition in Bangladesh. Now, the question is, how did Sheikh Hasina fail to estimate this level of disgruntlement on the ground? Because now she's had to leave the country and she's actually resigned as Prime Minister.
Opposition had boycotted it, but they boycotted it because they felt it was not going to be free and fair. So it was a bit of a rigged election, and she herself was very, very unpopular. And you know that there are serious corruption allegations, not so much against her, but her, what shall I say, entourage, those who are close to her, and also the youth unemployment. So all this, combined made it a situation which was very inflammable, and she has done the right thing by resigning and getting out of the country, because there could have been violence against her if she had remained in Bangladesh.
But Mr. Fabian, I'm wondering what the global community is going to do about this. Will the pressure be swift, you think? Can Bangladesh's military be forced to cede for elections at the earliest? Or is the country now headed for this long period of turmoil, you think?
No, as I said earlier, what I have been told is that a civilian government is being formed, and I have the list here, 18 people, as I said, headed by the former governor of the central bank. Okay, and if such a civilian government, which I would call a technocratic government, is formed, and if that government prepares for a free and fair election, that is the best way out.
The setting up of a free and fair election, how peaceful that entire process is going to be, Mr. Fabian, we'll have to wait and watch. But these developments right now are more than disconcerting, considering that it's happening in India's neighborhood. And like you said, that India has put its eggs in one basket, and that being Sheikh Hasina. We'll continue to monitor the situation. Thanks very much for your perspective on this. Of course, Sheikh Hasina recently made some statements about an offer from a white man to establish Air Force base in her country. So who is this white man? Did Hasina have an inkling about this impending fate of hers? My colleague Sumita has been looking into developments regarding this. She's joining us from our Delhi studios. Sumita, what have you heard about this?
Yes, indeed, Vikram, a new angle has come to light, and like you rightly said, the involvement of a foreign hand. In fact, just 2 months ago, after Sheikh Hasina had returned to power, she made shocking claims that a white country was hatching a conspiracy against her. In fact, this was also months after winning elections and securing a 5th straight term for her government. Hasina claimed in May that she was offered a hassle-free re-election in the January 7 polls if she allowed a foreign country to build an airbase inside the country. Of course, she's not mentioned the country, but of course, she said that it was a white man. In fact, the Daily Star Bangladesh had also quoted Hasina saying all of that, to which she said that she was the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and of course, the fact that we won our liberation war. She also said that I do not want to come to power by renting a part of the country or handing it over to some other country, and I do not need power. Hasina also said that she was fighting a battle everywhere, both at home front and abroad, and the conspiracies are still on to carve out a new country out of Bangladesh, like East Timor. She said that they will carve out a Christian country, and of course taking parts of Bangladesh and Myanmar with a base in the Bay of Bengal. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson had also claimed that United States ambassador to Bangladesh and a high-ranking representative of the local opposition had discussed plans to organize mass anti-government protests in the country during that meeting. So another angle really coming out as far as Bangladeshi protests are concerned. Viewers, at the moment we're learning that Prime Minister Modi has been briefed about the situation that is playing out in Bangladesh. In fact, he's met External Affairs Minister Dr. S.J. Shankar. In fact, there is no word right now on whether Hasina will meet the Prime Minister. So that's the situation unfolding as far as Sheikh Hasina is concerned, the foreign angle and what's playing out in Bangladesh. But viewers, let's shift our focus